Welcome back in one of the Bear Shop Plays YouTube channel. Today is Friday, January 3rd, and I'm back breaking down another college basketball play. On Thursday, we have Oregon minus 2.5, got them minus 3.5 this morning, currently up to minus 4.5, going up against Illinois. They have not started yet. It's going to tip off here in about 40 minutes. We also have Jackson Shellstad over his total points. It's 11.5 points going up against Illinois. Again, that game has not started yet. So hopefully we get the 2-0 day. It is a top 25 matchup. We are going to be looking at another top 25 matchup for Friday. And then Saturday, I believe it's Saturday, maybe Sunday, but I almost positive it's Saturday. We have 4 games in the top 25 matchup category, and we're going to be breaking down all of them. So we have a monster breakdown on Saturday, but today it's just going to be the one game and the one game only, looking at Ohio State going up against Michigan State. Ohio State, not top 25. Michigan State is, I believe, number 19 or 18 in the country. Michigan State this season, losses against some good teams. Kansas, number 1 team of the country at the time, lost to them by 8 points. And then Memphis, a team who is so hit or miss, you have no idea what they're going to do. Tonight, Memphis looked great. On the road, they destroyed FAU. The points per game for Memphis has been great. The defense at times have been horrible. They've lost some games at home that'll make you shake your head. But Memphis, I think, overall, pretty good team. Those are the 2 losses for Michigan State. They have big wins over North Carolina, winning that game in overtime. Then they got a pretty good win against Nebraska. Nebraska was a top 25 team at the time, or maybe a week before. They beat Nebraska. They beat the brakes off Nebraska, 89-52. So this Michigan State team, not bad on the season. For Ohio State, 4 losses. 2 of them are head scratchers. Maryland, that is a head scratcher. They lost that game by 24 points. They lost to Pitt in overtime at home, another game they should have won. The other losses that are justified, Texas A&M as a top 25 team lost that one by 14 early, and then Auburn beat the brakes off them, but Auburn has been beating the brakes off of every team this season. I'm going to go ahead and take Ohio State against the spread. They're currently minus 1.5 at home going up against Michigan State. The top 20 icon in Michigan State is going to scare a lot of people off of Ohio State minus 1.5, but we've got a home favorite in college basketball minus 1.5. You might as well take let's just take the money line. I've had problems with this before, even this year. I think it was Georgetown going up against Seton Hall, maybe. Yeah, I think it was Georgetown going up against Seton Hall. Georgetown on the road, they were beating the brakes off of Seton Hall. Seton Hall down by 18, cut it to 2 with like 40 seconds left, and then Georgetown, we had them minus 1.5. Georgetown won the game by 1. So let's not do that anymore. Let's just take Ohio State here on the money line. Pay the extra 10. It's probably going to be minus 120 on the money line instead of taking the minus 1.5. I do think Ohio State can match up with Michigan State pretty well. Bruce Thornton, obvious stud in this game, one of the best players in the country. We have Royal. We have Mobley Jr., who's coming off the bench. He's been an asset for Ohio State over the last several games, making a ton of threes. And I love their head coach, Jake Diebler. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country. I know a lot of people probably not hyped about him losing 4 games already this season, but last season, if you watched Ohio State, they were a dead dog. But down the stretch of that season, he had those guys believing. It is really not an issue if you're not playing well right now. It's an issue if you're not playing well late February and into March. So I think Ohio State will figure it out. This is a conference game. They've got to try to win this game. It's going to be big for conference championship status down the road. I think Ohio State will win this game at home. I'm going to take them on the money line as the play. And for the player prop, already talked about it. I'm going to take Bruce Thornton. I really don't think there's any way you can't take this player prop, because if I'm looking at both these teams and I'm looking at the stats for both these teams, there's really nobody that jumps out on the page besides Bruce Thornton in points per game. If you wanted to take another play, maybe look at Devin Royal to go over his rebounds. I don't see a lot in this game besides Bruce Thornton over his total points. Rebounding for Royal at home, probably going to be an electric environment for Ohio State. So maybe Michigan State comes out of this game, a little bit rusty and putting up some planks early. Royal cleans up those rebounds. For Michigan State, they only have one player scoring over double digits per game, at Atkins, and he was there last season. He's been their best player all season long. He's only shooting 27% from 3, though. So I can see a lot of misses in this game for Michigan State if they don't try to find a way to, bang with the bigs down low. But for me, it's going to be Bruce Thornton over his total points, probably going to be 16.5, 17.5 as the play. He is scoring 17.4 points per game, nearly 50% from deep on the season, 49%, 55.8% from the field. You don't see that a lot from guards in college basketball. You don't see that a lot from guards in the NBA. Usually it's the point blank shots that you see like nearly 55, 65% if you've got those point blank shots down low. All you got to do is turn around if you're a big guy and put up a little layup. But for Bruce Thornton, 55.8% from the field as a guard. He is pretty selective with the shots he takes. He doesn't take a ton of shots. Only has a couple of games this season shooting above double-digit times. When he's done that, he's still shooting above 60%. Look at the last 2 games for him against Indiana State and Kentucky. He shot 16 times against Indiana State, 13 times going up against Kentucky. He made 61.5 of his shots and 68.8 of his shots in that game, coming off back-to-back 30-plus point games. He's on fire from the field right now. I'm going to take him as the play here over his total points against Michigan State as the only player prop of the day. Let's go to the recap graphic. Only one play today. I think we've got 4 plays on Saturday I'm going to break down for you guys, so we got a big breakdown coming up on the weekend slate. But for right now, Ohio State against the spread, we're going to take them money line instead. Not going to mess around with the minus 1.5. Just take Ohio State on the money line as the play. And then Bruce Thornton over his total points, probably going to be 16.5, 17.5 as the play there. Guys, going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Friday, January 3rd slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.